I'm Steve Edelman.
And I'm Beth Wood, and today on Good Company...
Today on Good Company, our field reporter, Gary Lumpkin. You know, it's different when Sharon's not here. You notice that?
Falls apart.
No, we're going to keep going. Our field host, Gary Lumpkin, just had a new baby, and we are going to go to the hospital to visit him and his wife.
That'll be fun. Then we're going to meet a 34-year-old Twin Cities woman who was just named as being a Viking cheerleader.
Also on Soap Talk, our reporter, Julie Brown, is going to introduce us to Tad and Liza of All My Children.
Then Gary Schendel will find out what's available in Minnesota State Parks for weekend getaways.
Also, Beth and I are going to be cooking, and we have a great curried chicken salad. All that and more coming up just ahead on Good Company.
From the Twin Cities, it's Good Company. With your hosts, Steve Edelman and Sharon Anderson. Field hosts Gary Lumpkin, Gary Schendel, and field reporter Beth Wood. And now, Steve and Sharon.
Hi, dear. All right. Are you all set then? Thank you.
I'm not dressed.
Welcome,
There.
everyone. Are you all set?
I think so.
All right. That's funny,
I'm
starting the
excited.
show out together. Are you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sharon's not here today. And the reason is because, as I was explaining to our audience here, as most of you know, she's pregnant for the first time. We're excited about it. Actually, she's about, I don't know, 10 weeks along or 11 weeks along, something like that. And she was feeling a little tired, you know, kind of overtired, so she went to the doctor, and her doctor told her that she should just kind of relax for a few days, not move around a lot. So that's what she's up to, but she is fine. And I miss her, and she said, by the way, we talked yesterday, and she said she really misses doing the show.
Oh, I bet, but she deserves the rest.
Well, that's not true.
You're mean. She's doing all the work.
No, we're kind of
Yeah.
sharing responsibilities.
Well, good.
You know, it's things are. You're laughing. That's right. She is having the child. That's true. But we're kind of sharing responsibilities more than we ever have. So
That's
it's
great.
changed. It does change things a little.
People
You know?
missed her last night in the Aquatennial Parade. The whole time, Steve rode in the parade, and I rode up front, and we rode in horse and carriages I was with Gary Schendel, and the whole parade route, people were going, "Where's Sharon? Where's Sharon?" It was just,
Right.
it was fantastic, so people did miss her last night.
It was
That
nice.
was fun.
That was
a nice
fun.
parade.
You know, I had something. I knew that everybody was going to ask us about Sharon, so I had these signs made up to put on the side of our carriage. And this, see, Sharon's fine, just expecting. Unfortunately, they never made it to the parade. So I didn't know what to say. You know, everybody, and I really appreciated the people in the parade lot were so nice. You know, they were waving at us, and it really felt good. But everybody, you know, just about all those were asking, "Hey, where is Sharon?" And I didn't want to say she's sick, because she's not really sick. And then I couldn't explain. Well, because it's like, well, she's you know. So anyway, she is fine, and we really enjoyed doing that. Thank you. I'm glad you're here, Beth. It should be fun. We've never done the show together.
And something great happened last night, too.
That's true. Our Gary Lumpkin, our field host, who's so, you know, crazy, he tries all kinds of, well, this takes the cake. He's a father again. And it happened last night, I think it's around 10:30, and right now we have a crew on the scene at the hospital. And as you can see, the child is doing very well. Gary?
Oh, hi there.
Where are you? What hospital are you at?
We're at the Midway Hospital in St. Paul right now, and just catching a little snooze. You mentioned the baby did come last night about 10:30, about 10:40 actually. So I thought it'd be a chance to catch a little rest. I didn't get much sleep last night.
Yeah, how did it go? I mean, any surprises?
No surprises. Everything went absolutely perfectly. We arrived at the hospital about 8 o'clock, and as I said, the baby came at 10:41, so it was a very short labor. We were lucky for that aspect of it, and it's a little girl person.
Oh, she's there with
And
you.
here she is. This is her TV debut. Please say hi to Kelsey Nicolette.
Oh, isn't she dark? Wow.
Yeah, she took... Hey, little girl, she can't hear you, but you're getting a round of applause now. How about that? She was almost 8 pounds and got 10 fingers, 10 toes, and all the other equipment, and she's just doing great.
She looks pretty excited about being on her first Good Company.
Well, she is excited. She's, in fact, she's going to spit up in our honor, I think, for us at any moment.
Now,
but that's baby way of being excited.
Is Joyce there?
Joyce is down the hall. Joyce is still, feeling fine, but kind of snoozing right now herself. So we're just going to go as a twosome for this shot, I'm afraid.
Gary, I got to ask you this.
You bet.
Because I'm a potential father myself. Did you participate in somehow in this whole process? I mean, how busy were you?
I'm going to sit down here. I was very busy. Now, you mentioned before a father again. We have a 3.5-year-old at home, Casey, a daughter, and I was there for her delivery, but not participating, but right in the delivery room. This one was quite a bit different. They allowed me, the head was delivered by the doctor, and then I stepped around and delivered the rest of the baby.
No kidding.
I mean, gloved up and suited up and really got involved. So that was amazing. That was amazing. That's hard to describe. It was really special. And then Joyce, my wife's name is Joyce. I remember now.
Still Joyce.
Joyce cut the cord, so we were all very much involved, both of us. All three of us, I guess, huh?
Do you recommend
it was
doing
really
that? Do you recommend doing that more of an active participation?
I'm sorry?
Do you recommend doing that more of active participation in the birth
Well,
for the father?
It worked for us, yes. It was something I really wanted to do, and I didn't know how much they would allow me to do. And they made the offer, and I took it up instantly. So, yeah, the feeling is, like I said, it's just pretty hard to describe. There's not a lot of good words that would be appropriate, but it was just extra special. Yeah, it was really something.
Why Kelsey? Is there a significance behind the name?
Well, we got the baby name books like everybody does, and went through them backwards and forwards maybe 100 times. We also, a great thing, and we find out other people do the same thing too, is when you go to a movie, you watch the credits. You stay extra long to watch the credits and look at all the names in the credits of a movie. So we went through 1,000,000 names, and as soon as we heard it, or read it, I don't remember where we got it from first, but we knew that was probably the name. And then we kind of went back and forth, but that's the name we stuck with. And it just sounded good to us. It's a lot like our little girl's name is Casey.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that name, and so we'll probably be we'll be confused all our lives and confuse everybody else, but that's the way it goes.
Well, congratulations, Gary.
Well, thanks.
Yes.
Give him a wave, kid. Oops.
Give our love to Joyce, too.
Okay, good. Hey, I got to tell you one thing, too.
Yeah.
The biggest feat. Oops, she heard me talking about it too. I think she's going to be a place kicker for the Vikings.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Big feet. Look at that.
Oh, look at it.
Unbelievable.
Oh, that's great.
So, but like I said before, they got all the right number of fingers and toes, so all doing well. I better put her back down.
Okay, and Gary, don't forget, only your wife gets 6 weeks maternity leave, but not you.
Oh, no. I'm real tired.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank
So
you.
long.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Our field host, Gary Love. You know, Gary takes all kinds of chances in our show. He's the one that's ridden the Brahma bull, and he goes up in the airplanes and all this. And I wonder if this will really change a little bit more his philosophy, whether he wants to be a little more conservative.
No, he has little Casey, too, and
Sure.
she's darling, I think.
You think he'll still be out there?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to break away. When we come back, Beth and I are going to be cooking, and we haven't done this before, so bear with us. It's right after this. Stay with us. There they are. Okay. Usually, when you think about a cheerleader, I think you think about someone who is either in high school or college, you know, maybe they're, I don't know, 20, 21, something like that. Well, the Vikings have a new cheerleading squad, 36 women, and we have with us today a woman who is one of those cheerleaders. Now, what makes her unique is A, she made the squad, but B, she is a 34-year-old mother of 4, and she's on that squad. Why did she decide to go out for this and ultimately make it? We're going to find out in just a minute, but first, why don't we take a look at a workout that the squad had just last night at the Northtown Shopping Center. Let's watch. There she is in the blue, Lynn Berwell. And as you can tell, she has, well, she's in absolutely superb shape. Let's listen. with us today. Would you welcome, please, from Shoreview, Lynn Berwell. Wow. Really, congratulations, Lynn. I mean, how many people went out? I understand 1,000 people were in the running for this thing.
They started out with 1,000 applications and then finally got down to about 550 that actually tried out. And they had the first cutoff went down to 90, and then they picked the 36 from the 90.
What were they looking for, do you know?
Well, they talked about wholesome was one word that was in the paper, and all-American. You had to have dance background. That was very important. A lot of the routines are dance-based, so that was important. Smiling. And a lot of pep and energy, and I think they found that in all 36.
What is it that made you decide to go out for it? Because you are a mother of 4, and I'm sure you have a lot of other responsibilities.
Well, my background is dance. I've danced all my life, and I guess like any artist, you want to do your craft, and this was just a unique opportunity. I teach exercise and dance, but this was another chance for me to get out and perform. Yeah. I really took the chance.
Good for you, and you made it.
Yes.
We want to take a look at a little background of Lynn. Let's take a look at that right now as to where she started and how she got to where she is today. Starting out with you as just a child. Where are you in that picture?
On the right, this is when I skated with the St. Paul Figure Skating Club. My sister is in the middle. This is another skating picture. My mother started us out in skating. She wanted us.
Where are you? You're on the
on the left.
On the left there.
That's my sister also.
Okay.
And then we went into ballet, and this is Andahazi Ballet Company practicing for a performance. Mr. Andahazi is on my left. And I was in a teenage operetta. We did some dancing, Minnesota dance, helped put it on. And high school cheerleading picture, I'm on the top.
So you were a high school cheerleader? Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
All right.
And just last year I went out for Mrs. Minnesota, just another challenge. I didn't make it, and not even to the finals, but it was a lot of fun. And those are my 4 kids.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, now,
and there's my husband. That's a nice picture.
you two have been married for how long?
15 years. Something. It's a long time.
I know a lot of people ask, what is it like for you now working with the average age of those cheerleaders is what again? 21?
About 21, right.
What is that like?
Well, it's great. I don't think age has anything to do with it. We share a common bond in what we do and enjoy. And of course, I enjoy people of all ages. So it's really worked out well. And we've had a good time. They're great gals.
What would you say is the major difference between you and your outlook and the people who are much younger than you are?
Well, it's not really all that much different. I think we have different interests. On Friday night, I go home to bed and they go out bar hopping, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, that. But otherwise, we basically share the same feelings about dance and that's what we're there to do, is to work on our dance routines for cheerleading, and that we share in common.
We have Lynn's children with us here, and they're in our audience, and Beth Wood is with them now. Beth?
I have 3 of her sons, and this is Aaron, he's 14, Damon, 12, and then down here, Ryan. Now, Lynn, you get 2 tickets per game, I think.
Right.
I want to know how you're going to decide who goes to the Vikings games.
Well, I don't know. For the first one, the whole family's going to go, and then we'll just take turns going to all the rest.
Pretty proud of your mom?
Yeah.
What did your friends say?
They couldn't believe it. Like, one of my friends thinks that I'm lying, and he won't believe it yet.
I see that 2-year-old Sean has just come up and joined his mother then. He's cute. Yes, she is a mother of 4. Steve?
Well, now, Lynn, I know you have a message for other women. I mean, when you think about this, Lynn has done a lot of different things. She tried out for this Mrs. Minnesota, and now you're doing this. You were on, you might recognize her from Good Company commercials. She came in and was on Good Company commercials. She auditioned for that as somebody who watches the show and likes it, and did so well she got on that. What's the philosophy?
Well, I think we all have something about us that's unique and different, and to pursue that, not, you know, making it a full-time. Ruining my act.
Yes, ruining Mom's act.
Go watch TV.
Whatever. You want to go up there, huh? Okay, anywhere you want to go is okay, but watch out for that big vase there. You don't want to get too close to that, okay? Think he'll be okay? All right, we'll watch him
He's
while you're...
fine, that's okay.
All right.
But basically just taking that thing that you like to do and just pursue it a little bit. And
Uh-oh. He didn't see, he just did a front flip onto our couch. Mom was just explaining how women should really go after things that they don't necessarily think they can do.
especially mothers of 4, you need a break.
Well, congratulations to you, and we'll look forward to you in the cheerleading. When's the first game that you'll be on?
August 4th.
August 4th. All right, you see Lynn, Berwell, and all the other Vikings cheerleaders. Good luck. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be right back. Stay with us. That's great.
Coming up tomorrow on Good Company, a Twin Cities woman gets a new look for her stage career on our beauty makeover. Field host Gary Lumpkin will be on the scene at the 1984 Ramsey County Fair and find out about some new exercises that you can do in the water. That's just ahead.
Our audience here. Hey, we have a great audience here. They're having a little party while we're doing the show. It's great. I want to tell you. All right. We have our Soap Talk reporter, Julie Brown, with us here today. And Julie met 2 of the most popular characters on the soaps today, All My Children's Tad and Liza. Now, they're not here in the Twin Cities, but they were here when?
When? Oh, what? About 8 weeks ago? Maybe less than that? We had them on the show when they were on, and then we had a chance to spend an afternoon together, and it was great fun.
How was that?
It was great fun because we did something out of the ordinary. We didn't just do a sit-down interview. We spent a day going to lunch and shopping and whatnot. First of all, what we did was we sought out All My Children viewers, which is not really all that difficult to do, and we asked this question: how have Tad and Liza changed in the recent past?
It's cleaning up too much. It's no fun anymore, and she's lightening up on her act, too.
Well, Liza's kind of calmed down a lot, and Ted is just the same as he always was.
They both seem to be getting for the better, and at least what I can tell. They don't seem to be as bad as they used to be.
Well, Tad's become better and Liza's become worse. Liza's running around and Tad's trying to clean up his act.
I don't know. I think Liza Colby, same with Tad. I think they belong together. They really do. I think Tad and Liza when they were together, it was great.
Well, Tad and Liza aren't together any longer, and they've both changed quite a bit. For instance, it's only in the last few months that we've seen the vulnerable side of Liza that we see here.
You get Amanda? Amanda's gone for the summer. She's in London. I actually think she's trying to avoid me. You know, I really should have never come back. I should have stayed in San Francisco.
Oh, now, darling, please don't talk that way.
Mother, if I would have transferred to Berkeley, I could have started a whole new life.
Liza, why do you say that?
Because I don't have any friends here.
Oh, now, that's not true.
Well, as for Tad, one thing that's changed for him is he's had to work for the first time in his life. One thing that hasn't changed is the character still offers comic relief, as we see in this scene.
Hi. How you doing, Daddy? Alfred? Are you working here? Yep, you got it. I'm filling in for Tom while he's away. Watch this. Can I take your order? Gotti?
I'm not sure what I want.
Oh, that's quite all right, miss. Take your time.
I'll just have a salad.
Salad, okay.
And another one of these.
The diet soda. Okay. Do you want Roquefort, Thousand Island, or French? Or oil and vinegar? And the Roquefort is 50 cents more. I have to say that.
When Michael and Marcy were in town recently, we spent a day indulging in something we all love, eating and shopping.
Hey.
I don't want it.
That's like breaking a toy. Hide a toy.
Easier.
Definitely.
Reef, he looks like Yasser Arafat. Hey, really?
Chic Michael.
Where were those hats at?
At a shop at St. Anthony, Maine. That's where we spent the afternoon.
Well, what were they like? I mean, you spent all that time with them.
I was just telling you, it's interesting to spend a day like that because it's such an informal environment as compared with a sit-down interview. And you know what we talked about more than in a sit-down interview? We talked about what they don't like to talk about in an interview.
Really? Like?
They hate being asked, what was your most embarrassing moment? Because they feel like they're on the spot and there are situations that happen to them that are so funny to them that will never be funny to someone else who wasn't in that situation. They don't like being asked, what is so-and-so like, someone else on the show?
They don't. Why is
what
that?
do you think's going to happen to your character?
Why do they care if somebody asks about what's so-and-so like?
Maybe because the attention's being drawn away from them. But I think they like to talk about some personal things more than they like to talk about soap opera related things, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You might expect that they wouldn't want you to delve into their personal life. So I know what to do from now on in my interviews. Delve right in, get the meat.
Go for it.
Right.
Okay, Julie. What are you going to do next week?
We're going to be meeting Chuck and Donna, who were in town about, a week ago, next week.
Okay, thanks, Julie. Our Soap Talk reporter, Julie Brown. When we come back, our Minnesota getaway with Gary Schendel. Stay with us.
Coming up next week on Good Company. On Monday, medical specialist Dr. Michael Breen will be here with news of a new treatment to help chronic snorers. On Tuesday, we'll review a new Twin Cities restaurant in River Place that specializes in German food. Also on Tuesday in our studio, meet the newly crowned Miss Teen Minnesota for 1984. Coming up next, field host Gary Schendel with some ideas for weekend getaways to Minnesota state parks. That's just ahead.
It is time to go traveling again around the back roads and highways of Minnesota. And field host Gary Schendel has found out that not enough people in Minnesota take advantage of the state parks and what they have to offer. So he's going to give us some advice on how to enjoy the various state parks. Here's Gary Schendel hitting the highway again, and he's going to do some traveling down to Nurstead. And here's Gary.
How would you feel if you bought something and then never used it? You'd feel cheated, right? Well, if you never use our Minnesota state parks, that's exactly what you're doing to yourself. You're cheating yourself because they're paid for with your tax money. Well, if you don't use our state parks enough, help is on the way today on Escape, because there's a man coming down the road who's going to help us all.
His name is Jim Umhafer, and his little brown pickup is a common sight at Minnesota State Parks. Jim's a freelance photographer and writer. Last year, he decided to visit each and every state park we have. Why do it?
Well, it's a tough job, Gary, but somebody's got to do it. And
Actually, the purpose was to compile a guidebook to the parks. More on that later. But Jim's year-long adventure probably makes him Minnesota's foremost authority on state parks, and that's why we want you to meet him. Jim's traveled to the well-known parks, Interstate Park, for instance, on the St. Croix near Taylor's Falls, and, of course, Fort Snelling right here in the cities. But there's so much more to the system that we all pay for. Out-of-the-way but gorgeous spots like Frontenac State Park on a hill overlooking Lake Pepin, or William O'Brien State Park near Stillwater.
that's my bias. I prefer to be away from the crowds, and so I like the parks that are smaller, less known, and off the beaten track.
Today, Jim is showing me around one of those little-known places, Nerstrand Woods State Park near Northfield.
I think this park is beautiful. Mostly hardwood forests, of course, the largest remnant of the big woods. And fall of the year is my favorite time here.
Surrounded by farm fields, you wouldn't expect to find this kind of a forest in southern Minnesota. That's too bad.
If you don't use Minnesota state parks as much as you ought to, you are hardly alone. Officials here at Nerstrand State Park say that on a typical, beautiful summer day like this, a Thursday, for instance, they get maybe 30 people here. Now, almost every state park seems to have one added special surprise that nobody seems to know about. Here at Nerstrand Woods, this is it, a waterfall way back in the woods. And also, when you come to this state park, there's a historical surprise.
Legend has it that Jesse James and his gang camped here after their ill-fated raid on the Northfield Bank. They probably didn't have much time to appreciate the beauty.
Imagine Jesse and his gang taking a shower right under this waterfall. It might have happened. These days, you'll find families doing the usual stuff here, having a picnic, downing that summertime chow. But Jim says state parks offer much more.
People should realize that the park system is designed for everybody, whether you're a handicapped visitor, elderly. If your idea of roughing it is to plug your RV in and turn the TV set on, or if you'd like to backpack and be out in the boondocks for a week without seeing anybody, you can have that kind of experience in the Minnesota and Wisconsin state park systems.
With that piece of advice, Jim was off, kind of like the lone park ranger, probably off to visit still another state park. Tough job. Obviously, all of us can't have as much fun as Jim Umhafer does at his job. It'd probably be illegal for all of us to have that much fun, but we can benefit from the expertise that he has gained by visiting all of the Minnesota state parks. His guidebook to Minnesota parks and also one on Wisconsin parks are available throughout the Twin Cities. Also, there's a toll-free number that you can call to get specifics about our Minnesota state parks. We'll be giving you that in just a moment. And now you'll excuse me because I'm going to be taking a moment here at Nurse Strand Woods to just take some time and enjoy the park. After all, I'm helping to pay for it.
Okay, if you're interested in finding Nurse Strand State Park, where Gary was, you go 35W south to 19 east. You go into the town of Northfield, then you go south on Highway 246, and then west on Highway 40. And if I haven't
yeah, right.
lost
then
you
you
by
go to
now,
a gas station and say, where is this park anyway? Right?
Yeah, and it takes about a quarter of a tank of gas. It's about 50 miles from the metro area, and takes you about 1 hour to get there.
Okay, that's our Minnesota getaway for today. Jim,
Right,
more?
have a phone number. If you want to get information on the state park systems in the Twin Cities, you call 296-4776. Outside the metro area, toll free, 1-800-652-9747.
Okay. We have now, we're going to show you the details of our super bargains. These are half-price deals. We're going to show you in just a moment. One of them is a water slide and the Apple River for the whole family, and you went on that.
Oh, that is a riot.
Was that fun?
Oh, I loved it.
So any age?
Any age.
Would you do it just going you and a date or whatever?
Well, I don't know about a date, but yeah, I'd do it with the gang. Yeah. It's fun.
Well, I didn't want to get into your private life. Whatever. Anyway, also you could get Zomerfest tickets for Orchestra Hall, and one more thing. You can get potato chips and Pepsi at the Q Superettes. If you're interested in those things, take a look. Here come the details. We'll be right back.
In the summertime, children and your pets spend a lot of time outdoors. There are some cautionary measures you should take to make sure they're not poisoned on plants that could be in your backyard or could be out in the woods. So in a segment that was taped recently, Steve talked to pharmacologist Ed Krenzlock for some advice for parents. And right now, here's Steve.
We're going to be talking about outdoor plants now, specifically those outdoor plants that can be harmful to children and pets. And we have with us our expert today, our poison expert, Ed Krenzlock, who is here from Pittsburgh to tell us all about these plants. And we have some examples of these, too, so you can know specifically what to watch out for. Well, it's good to have you here again.
Well, thanks, Steve. I really enjoy being here.
Really? Now, why don't we start out, we're first going to look at the poisonous variety, and then we're going to look at the ones that are okay?
You bet.
All right.
Let's take a look. Well, the first one, we have a lily of the valley. And lily of the valley is a plant that everyone is putting out right now. It's a plant that grows very well in shade. This has to be one of the most poisonous plants that children or pets or anyone could possibly get into. The entire plant is poisonous, but especially when you get into the fall, say, and there are little red berries that are there. Extremely attractive to little children to grab and very poisonous.
So let's say a child did ingest one of these berries. What would happen?
Well, we'd want that child to go to an emergency room immediately, have vomiting induced, because it's very similar to one of the medications elderly people take for their heart, Digitized, and it can cause tremendous toxicity to your heart. So it's a very dangerous plant.
Is it also dangerous for pets?
It would be dangerous for pets and for humans.
Okay.
Even the water that the flowers have been soaking in could extract some of the poison in there, so you should discard the water and make sure a little child doesn't drink it.
Have you seen those around the Twin Cities?
Oh yes, they're very prominent here. People use them again as a shade plant, grow very nicely on the north side of the house and so on. So it's very common.
Okay, let's take a look at another one. This is another poisonous outdoor plant.
The castor bean plant, and you can see an example of the foliage and what the seeds look like. 2 of those seeds, possibly even as few as 1, could be potentially fatal to a child or an adult. Extremely poisonous. Probably is about the 3rd most poisonous substance in the world, right behind botulism toxin and cobra snake venom. Extremely poisonous.
That bad? Now, is that plant around the Twin Cities?
You can find it everywhere around here. People use it as foliage because it grows so fast. As a matter of fact, I've even seen it out at Valley Fair on a number of occasions. So it's extremely common.
Now, the plant itself is what you have to watch out for, or is it the bean?
The bean is the thing that's potentially harmful. It grows in a rather long seed pod, and then the seeds that are inside that bean are the poisonous constituents.
Well, I don't understand then why you'd find it around.
Well, people,
I mean, if it's that poisonous.
Well, people don't understand. They don't realize that it's poisonous. And as you can see on that seed package, it said caution, you know, poisonous or harmful if swallowed. So it's a lack of awareness, I think. But it does grow very fast. You can have a whole yard full of this foliage in a matter of a month and a half or 2 months.
Let's see that one again. Can we do that? Can we go back to the castor bean? I mean, if it's that bad, we really ought to be very, very aware of it. Is that possible? Well, maybe we can. Okay, we're trying to get it back to that because it's, I mean, there it is, castor bean plant.
Castor bean plants. It grows, for instance, those leaves that you see there might be 1.5 feet across. It's very big foliage. And the seeds are probably about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch in size. So they're very large.
Okay. Stay away from that one. Okay, we have another one now. This we have right here, a tomato plant. What, a tomato plant is a problem?
Isn't that a surprise?
Yeah.
Tomato plants, potato plants are in the same family. And we know that tomatoes aren't poisonous, but the leaves and the stems and so on have a substance in them that is potentially very harmful.
To whom?
To humans and animals alike. So you shouldn't throw the leftover plants, for instance, to your animals that might be eating foliage like rabbits and so on. Likewise, if you start eating these leaves, you could get into a lot of trouble. It causes a lot of stomach upset, and it can even cause some problems with your nervous system.
Oh, never heard that before. Amazing. Okay, do we have another one?
We do.
This is one more poisonous.
One more poisonous one, and it's rhubarb. And now, everybody thinks that you can't eat rhubarb stems late in the season because the poison comes out of the leaves and into the stem. Well, the stem is always, the stalk is always very good to eat and not a problem. But the leaves contain an acid called oxalic acid. And if you eat enough of that, it can cause a tremendous amount of stomach irritation and possibly even kidney problems. One would have to eat a fair amount. And the problem is the symptoms don't come on right away. They're delayed, perhaps even up to 24 hours. So keep your children and your rabbits and your cattle and so on away from eating rhubarb leaves.
Okay. We want to move on to the non-poisonous, but before we do, are there any pets that are more subject to having problems with this poisonous plant than others?
Well, cats are really sensitive to just about any type of poisonous plant. So if you have a cat, I would keep them away from anything that's potentially harmful. So cats probably are among the most sensitive.
Okay. Let's move on. These are all outdoor plants we're dealing with today, and these are all okay.
You bet. The wax begonia, a very lovely plant, not toxic at all, so you really don't have to worry about that if a child eats some or an animal does. Not a problem. One that's extremely common is the geranium. We find this probably in most window boxes in this part of the country. And again, the geranium plant is not a problem at all. So if a child happens to eat some, again, safe and you don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Beautiful plant. These are from
lovely.
Bachman's, by the way. They did a nice job on these. Another non-poisonous.
Another non-poisonous is the tulip. We can see a yellow tulip, and these are very common right now as they're poking through the ground, or will be shortly. And the tulip is a safe plant to eat. if you should
That's
choose,
good
if
to
you
know.
should choose to eat it.
Tulip pie is such a big item. Yeah.
It is. My dad sells it in his bakery, as a matter of fact. But tulips are not a problem, so that's fine. And then the last one is very difficult to see, but we have a marigold plant. And of course, we don't have any little flowers on the marigold, but the marigold's also very safe and a good choice to put in your flower garden if you have small children or pets around, rather than putting in something that's potentially harmful.
All right, well, let's take a quick recap look at that list of the poisonous and the non-poisonous. The first one, the poisonous variety was?
Lily of the Valley, very, very poisonous, as is the castor bean, tomato plant, and then rhubarb leaves. Then as we move to the non-poisonous outdoor plants, again, the begonias are all non-poisonous, geranium, tulips, marigolds, all very safe.
Now, there's this little booklet here called Friends and Foes in the Plant World, Guide to Poisonous and Non-Poisonous Plants. That's available?
It is, and it's available by sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Hennepin Poison Center, and the address is here at 701 Park Avenue,
in Minneapolis,
55415.
Okay, and then if you have any problems, there are also some phone numbers that you can call for information or emergency treatment. They'll tell you what to do.
That's right. Just call the Hennepin Poison Center or the Ramsey Poison Center at those numbers, and they'd be able to tell you if there is a poisoning occurring in your family.
Okay, thank you, Ed. There's one more thing we want to put in that has nothing to do with plants. As you're watching this, you're probably thinking that Ed is taller than I am. Actually, you take a look at a two-shot. It's an optical illusion. Actually, I'm 6'4", and Ed's only 5'11".
That's right. You're lucky I'm standing in a hole, too.
That's right. Thank you, Ed. Ed Krenzelak, our poison expert. I'm here with Diane Huberty. Diane represents the Mounds Park residents, and they are having their big carnival. What's that about?
Right. We're having a carnival on July 28th. That's this Saturday from 1 to 5, and you'll see the address. And we're having bingo and a balloon launch and a craft sale, and we also have a terrific raffle that goes with it. And we have everything from Viking tickets, a pair of Viking tickets, to a handmade quilt that was made by our residents.
That sounds good. Now, if you want more information on that, the number to call is 776-7170. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Great. Beth?
I am with Kathy Phillip, who is representing St. Mark's Church in Shakopee, and they're having a big festival, German-style festival, coming up this weekend called Yuli Fest. Tell us a little bit about that.
Our Yuli Fest celebration will begin Saturday night with a polka mass with the polka padre, Father Capone. There will be a street dance and lots of German and American foods. On Sunday, we have continuous entertainment all day from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's a raffle of lots of prizes, lots of games, of chants, just a great day for everybody.
Great. If you want more information on Yuli Fest down in Shakopee this weekend, the number to call is 445-4144. Thank you, Kathy. Steve.
Also, we have with us today a group, the Rolla chapter of the Eastern Star. Thank you very much for joining us today. And we want to mention that you can join us in our studio audience and win 2 tickets to San Francisco. We call it our San Francisco Getaway. You will rent round-trip airfare for 4 days and 4 nights in San Francisco, courtesy of Hobbit Travel. The way you qualify for that is just to join us in our audience here. And by the way, we're going live starting on Monday at 9 a.m. So if you're going to be in the audience, call us at 645-3999. By the way, during the summer, for a while, anybody 15 or over can be in our audience. And that's how you qualify for that giveaway. Sharon is not here today, if you just tuned in late, because she wasn't feeling too well. We hope she'll be back tomorrow. Beth Wood, it was a pleasure doing the show.
It's been fun,
really,
and I hope
really
Sharon is back tomorrow. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Gary Lumpkin is going to be live from the Ramsey County Fair, and he'll give us a preview of all the festivities going on there.
Also on tomorrow's show, we're going to have a beauty makeover for a woman who hasn't had her hair cut in 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then I am going to get all wet tomorrow, and I'm with a swimming expert, and we're going to learn some exercises you can do in the water. They're called aqua dynamics.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Accommodations for the guests of good company were provided by the HYATT Regency Minneapolis, an experience in luxury lodging in the heart of downtown on the Nicollet Mall. Transportation for the guests of good company was provided by Henderson Chauffeured Cadillacs. Henderson, offering the finest in limousine service throughout the Twin Cities area. Transportation for the guests and crew of good company provided by Republic Airlines. Republic flies to Mexico, Canada, the Caribbean, and to more U.S. cities than any airline in the country. Republic. For more information about today's good company, call The Connection at 941-2501. And for information on where to find a used car, truck, or van, call The Connection. That's 941-2501. I'm Steve Edelman. On the next Good Company, a Twin Cities woman gets a new look for her stage career on our beauty makeover. Field host Gary Lumpkin will be on the scene at the 1984 Ramsey County Fair. And we'll take a look at some new exercises that you can do in the water. Join us at 3 for Good Company. That's right after General Hospital here on Channel 5.
Or looking at.
What you enjoy looking at. Now, if I wanted to do something like that, what would I have to do to finish it?
Well, you have to get your height or your width in.
Height and width.
For the size of the container. And in this particular case, I'm going to do it with this pussy willow branch.
There can't be anything more spring-like than pussy willows, right?
Right.
Also, there will be something for the children. Animals from Minnesota Apple Valley Zoo's petting zoo department will be here. And there's really something at Dayton Bachman's flower show, I think, for everyone.
Since the theme is Minnesota Wild, they are keeping everything very authentic. In fact, even back behind the log cabin, there's a rustic outhouse nestled in the flowers.
Dayton Bachman's annual flower show. The theme is Minnesota Wilds. It begins this Saturday and continues on through April 8th. We'll be back with more Good Company following these messages.
Coming up next week on Good Company. On Monday, medical specialist Dr. Michael Breen has news of a new treatment for psoriasis.
On Tuesday, we'll begin our special series on weddings with a look at some unique places in the Twin Cities to hold your ceremony.
Also on Tuesday, Shirley Fonda will be here in our studio to show us the new line of Jane Fonda workout wear.
Thank you to the Hopkins Minnetonka seniors for being here.
Thank you. Yes, Beth Winship is going to be back tomorrow talking about your teenagers and drugs.
Also tomorrow, a restaurant review, where we're going to take a look at a restaurant suggestion.
And the star of Rhoda, Valerie Harper, is going to be here in the studio with the exercise expert who changed her life.
Yes, there she is in our studio tomorrow. Join us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And plain aspirin can upset them. Bufferin gives aspirin relief, plus special buffers that help protect against stomach upset. How do you feel now?
A lot smarter.
Bufferin is smarter, also an extra strength.
I'm renewing my skin's glow, and in the minutes it takes, I'm renewing the look of my hair, too. Like my skin, my hair can look old, so I use the Claro Color Renewal System. The color revitalizing gel and conditioning revitalizing treatment renew the depth and luster of my natural color to a young, healthy look. It's so gentle, and it blends away in 6 shampoos. Want younger looking hair? Renew it with the Clairol Color Renewal System, because your hair is as important as your skin.
She came right out and told me my teeth were yellow from smoking.
I didn't want to embarrass him, but he did get the Topol.
When smoke from one cigarette can leave a stain like this, imagine what a pack a day can do to your teeth. Topol is formulated to help remove ugly yellow tobacco stains, yet Topol cleans gently enough to be used every day.
Topol is kind of expensive compared to regular toothpaste.
Oh, but compared to what cigarettes cost.
Your teeth are so much brighter now.
Yeah.
Topol, smoker's tooth polish.
I have a problem. My complexion is part dry and part oily, especially between and over my eyes.
That's combination skin, and it isn't unusual. Try Cuticura medicated soap.
Cuticura?
Yes, Cuticura is formulated with cleansers to remove excess oil, with an antibacterial ingredient, with conditioners designed to help dry patches feel soft and smooth.
Fights oily skin, fights dry skin too, for a fresh, beautiful complexion.
Combination skin problems? Cuticura medicated soap. Use only as directed.
Noah, how can you say I'm late? I'm not scheduled for surgery today.
Jesse, go have a copy of the OR schedule, please.
Yes, you are scheduled, Bobby. Your name's right there, OR4.
Well, this doesn't make any sense. I checked this yesterday before I left. I wasn't on it.
Obviously didn't check it carefully enough.
Wait a minute. I think I know what happened. Now, the schedule came down late last night, and you'd probably gone home before you saw it. I should have mentioned it to you.
No, I'm sorry, but it wasn't my fault.
Okay, well, scrub up now because the patient's due on the table in 10 minutes, please.
I'll be ready.
Bobby, before you go.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I guess this means our lunch is off.
Yeah, well, dinner doesn't have to be. That is, if you don't mind if I stay on Port Charles another day.
Can you? I think it would be wonderful.
Great. Well, you tell me, does this mean we can have ourselves a little fun tonight?
Maybe we can.
Hmm?
Excuse me. I gotta scrub.
That is quite a girl.
Yeah.
New York just hasn't been the same without her.
Really, as I remember when we interned together, you had to squeeze girls into your social schedule with a shoehorn.
Yeah, well, I played the field.
Yeah. 3 a night, I think, was par for the course, wasn't it?
That was before I met Bobby.
Really? Mm-hmm. Ever since then, you've been sitting home reading medical journals, right?
Well, not exactly, but, you know, it was her I decided to zero in on.
Is that right? David Arlen concentrating on one girl?
Yeah, well...
Better be careful, kid. Lose your membership to the Makeout Hall of Fame.
No, I've matured. Marriage does that for a man.
You married? Does Bobby know that?
Hey, come on, buddy, cool it, would you please? She knows I'm getting a divorce.
Okay, well, I gotta go, excuse me, I got surgery to do.
Oh, yeah, you know, I wanted to talk to you about that.
About what?
Well, I was wondering if you mind if I scrubbed up and observed.
You want to monitor my surgery?
Yeah, Bobby tells me you're really hot stuff with a scalpel.
I don't know, David. It's a long one. It's a hemicolectomy.
Great, all the better. I'd really like to watch if I could. Huh?
Okay, I'll get you some greens. Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that your paper? Did you want that?
No, it's all right. I've already read it. Can we talk for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Over there.
Sure.
What do you want?
Do you really mean to tell me that you're not the least bit worried about Robert Scorpio becoming police commissioner?
Why? It's not going to affect anything.
Come on. I thought you had some big deals cooking down the waterfront.
Come on, Heather, let's not play games. You know perfectly well I got something going on. Why do you think I pay you to feed me information on Scotty Baldwin?
Don't worry, Tony. As long as you keep the money rolling in, I'll keep giving you the information. Only don't underestimate Scotty. I can't even get to his files.
Look, Heather, let's get something straight. I pay you to supply me with information. How you get it, where you get it, that's of no interest to me. Just make sure you get it.
Trident's got news, big news. Trident Sweet News is tastier chews.
Introducing new improved flavored Trident with more great taste than ever before.
Big news.
Tastier spearmint. Tastier cinnamon. Tastier fruit.
Tastier chews. Big news. Big news.
And 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed recommend sugarless gum for their patients who chew gum.
The big news is tastier chews.
New Trident.
More great taste than ever before.
Good morning.
What's that, blueberry muffins?
Oh, you're a bear today. Here, have some shed spread.
Okay.
It's got a rich, buttery taste.
Yeah?
And you know, shed spread has a third less calories than butter or margarine, and no cholesterol.
Mmm.
Oh, the bear just turned into a pussycat.
Oops.
Butterfingers.
You mean shed spread fingers.
Look out, Butter. Here comes Shed Spread. Great taste, a third less calories, no cholesterol. In sticks, bowls, and the country crock.
You know, you're a great cook.
Are you buttering me up?
I'm shed spreading you up.
I liked you better as a grouch.
You got it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brady. What's that?
It's my new Dristan display.
Big Dristan tablet?
Right. It explains 6612. See? Dristan has a yellow layer to relieve these 6 symptoms. But unlike some medicines that stop at 6, Dristan also has a white layer to relieve these 6 symptoms.
6612. I'll try Dristan. Mr. Brady, you were right. I feel great.
Dristan makes a big difference. Dristan relieves 12 cold symptoms.
Now, big sale savings during Sears' Big Bright and White sale. Save 40% on these Permapress Solid Percale sheets, only $3.89 twin. Or 50% on these Print Percale sheets, just $3.49 twin. Save 33% on Colormate bath towels, only $3.99. And save on matching bath rugs and carpets. Check January magazines for hundreds of savings for bed, kitchen, and bath. For the big Bright and White sale, hurry to Sears.
Anthony Hand?
Yeah, that's right. Who are you?
A friend. You.
Yes?
We gotta talk, so get lost.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't talk to her like that.
New York sent me.
Why didn't you say that? Heather, you heard the man. Why don't you leave us alone?
Now?
Yeah, now. Sit down, Mr. What'd you say your name was?
Mr. Largo sent me.
I don't know why you didn't say that in the first place. Listen, you want some breakfast, cup of coffee? What do you want?
Look, Hand, I didn't come up here for a social visit. Mr. Largo is very unhappy.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, you'll be a lot sorrier if he stays unhappy.
Just what seems to be the problem?
Oh, come on, talk straight. You know what the problem is. Mr. Largo gave you orders. You haven't carried them out.
I assume you're referring to the local waterfront project.
Mr. Largo gives a man an order. He doesn't expect any trouble. If there is, then Mr. Largo thinks maybe he picked the wrong man.
Will you tell Mr. Largo for me that I got everything under control?
He's gonna want a better answer than that. When can he see some results?
Soon.
How soon?
I don't know how soon. What, I'm not a fortune teller.